it's Martha. I wanted to do a flip through of a journal that I made for someone special, and she doesn't know about it yet, so I'm not going to name who, and it's going to be a Christmas gift, so I just wanted to do a quick flip through before I put it in the mail pretty soon. I call my journals Journey Journals, and this one is a cloth cover. I free stitched the words on here using a quilting foot, and then I did some free motion quilting on it too. So there's that. And this is a copy of a eco-dyed paper that I did, which came out pretty nice and I really liked it. So I used that for the cover for this signature. There are three signatures in here, and that's the cover. And I made a copy because I want to keep the originals so that I can use them over and over again. This is a quick flip through. This is a bag that I altered. I stamped it. I sprayed it. This is tissue paper from Tim Holtz. This is a tea bag that I stamped, and some more tissue paper. And this is just a card I made, a tattered edge card. This is another card I made, and a pocket out of a 5x7 card. And this is more tissue paper and some stamps. So there's a couple of journal spots there. This is just a tab that I glued down out of some cardstock I cut out. And this is a copy of some cardstock that I have. And this is something I found on Pinterest. It says, families are like branches on a tree. We grow in different directions, yet our roots remain as one. And just a altered journaling card that I made that fits in there. And this is a doily, and what I like to do is I take doilies, and when I stain them or I spray them, sometimes I put them over a page so that I get that as a background. So then I use the doily as decoration on a page as well. And this is just a ticket that I glued down. Some writing paper. This was my first altered paper clip, thanks to Linda Israel and her tutorial on using gel print papers. Now mine is not a gel print paper, it's a piece of cardstock that I cut out, and I just glued on a little piece of tissue paper, and this is a sticker that I had for years and years and years, so I put that on, and a gold bow. And this is another piece of the sticker in a different color, and it's a really nice paper clip because it's nice and stiff, made out of the cardstock. This is a piece of ledger paper, and no, it's not. I fibbed. This is a piece of composition or notebook paper, lined notebook paper, but the lines came off of it when I tea dyed it. So I stamped it, put some butterflies on it, and of course the stamp bled through, but it made a nice design on the back as well. Some more lined paper and another tab, and this is another journaling spot, and this says date up here, and you can write in whatever date you want. And this has washi paper because sometimes the edge of the tracing paper gets kind of tattered and rips. It's weak, so I like to strengthen it with some washi paper sometimes. That's the center, and what I've done is used elastic for my signatures, which is more like a traveler's notebook. I inked up here and more washi. One of the things I like to do is when I put tissue paper down, I like to put lined paper behind it, because if you want to journal on the tissue paper, it's easy to follow the lines then, and you can see the lined paper right through the tissue paper. And this is just a card that I drew some lines in pencil on the back. And this I taped down but I always use glue on my washi because it doesn't always stick. This is that technique where I use the doily to make a design on the paper. It's not very clear on this one. There it is. And when I sprayed this, the doily that's in the front is the sprayed doily. So I put this paper in the box and I put the doily on top and I sprayed it with Tattered Angels, and that's what you get. And I love that it's a background. You can put photos on this. If you use the right kind of pen, I think you could write on it too. Just some more papers. And this is a double pocket. So this one that I put lined paper on the back of. And this one, you can actually lift up the paper and write on both sides. And this is a 5x7 card back here. And I just used my circle punch and put a half punch in there, a thumb hole. And then some more 5x7 cards. This says family. This is just a free graphic I found online. And that's the back cover. And this is just stamped with some background stamp, so it can still be written on. And then this is another graphic I found online, and I put cheesecloth behind it. And this is a sprayed cardstock. I sprayed that with Tattered Angels. It's one of my favorite things to do. Stick some cardstock in the box and just spray away. This says, leave a little sparkle wherever you go. And this person likes to can. They garden and they can a lot of food. So I got the little canning jar, and she also likes wine, and I thought it was appropriate to put a wine glass on a doily. And it says time for tea. This is a die cut that I have, and I embossed it, and it made it all shiny. I don't know if it shows. Anyway, I just love the little teacup and saucer. And this is a stencil, and this is a stencil as well, from the same stencil. And then this is just a little tuck spot with a journaling card. And this is another effect with doily that I inked. It's from a stencil. And there is the inked doily that I did in the corner. And I just used ink and a dauber, an ink pad and a dauber to get this background. This is part of a napkin, and I sprayed the 5x7 card with Tattered Angels. I inked it with a background ink stamp that I have. And this is a napkin, and I used gesso to put it on there. And I used a little bit of ink around the edge. That's actually a wine bottle if you look real close. And there's a sprayed doily that I put on the back of the card. This is from the same napkin. This is a wine glass. And another, this is a die cut doily. And that's part of the napkin that I just glued on the bottom there. And there's a really pretty card I got off of Pinterest. Sorry. And the other half of the doily. And this is another altered paper clip, just a simple one. And it's just two pieces of cardstock that I punched out with a punch and glued together and put a bow on. And you can also paper clip something up under there. And that's the other page where I use the stencil. Some more lined paper. Another stenciled doily. This is a tea bag over a 3x5 card, and I stamped a teapot and a teacup on it from a stamp set I have. And this is a little tablet that I made with pages to write on for short little notes. This is another where I took the doily and I sprayed over it while I was spraying the cardstock. And that's the back. And then this is another signature. This is the center of the book. And This says, we might think we are nurturing our garden, but of course it's our garden that is really nurturing us. And this is a garden signature. And this is a little flower that I bought. Put it on a tea-dyed doily. And that's on a 5x7 card. No, it's not. I fibbed again. This is on a piece of paper, tea-dyed paper that I just glued in. So it can be opened up. You can put photos, you can write on it, journal on it. This says, if you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. And this is just a page out of an old book that I inked, I stamped, and I used some washi to help reinforce it. Because the page is really old, they're kind of fragile. This is tracing paper. And this is just a piece of cardstock that I stamped on to sort of help reinforce that. And another pocket. And something that I've started doing, and I should probably go back and do with these, is putting lines on the back of these to make it easier to write on. And I punched out the edge of this paper with a paper punch I have. That's a little sticker. It says Bloom, because this signature is about gardening. And this is a stamp I have here, and then I put a little butterfly on a piece of paper that came out of a paper pad. This is sort of a double pocket. That's just a little tag. And then this one is paper clipped in with a heart paper clip. And it's a cutout from a paper pad that I have. And this is another altered paper clip I did. Probably shows up better if I don't put my hand behind it. Just simple. It's just the petal punch and 2 pieces of cardstock glued together and a ribbon on top. How simple is that? But it's cute. It's a very cute paper clip. And another pocket made out of a 3x5 card, a tag, which is easy to write on. I mean, all I did was spray the front. And I just love the simple parts of this. This is a 3x5 card, and I have this corner punch that punches these little holes in here. And this is a piece of decorative paper out of a pad that I've had for years. And you can actually just, if you don't mess it up, you can put the corners, if you measure right, put the corners of your papers in there, and it holds a paper in there, and nobody would know that it's actually a journaling card that you can write on the back of if you wanted to, or write behind it and cover up whatever you wrote. That is just rubber stamped. And there's a couple of cards that one day I just wanted to make small things, small, easy, fast, instant gratification things. So I took a bunch of 3x5 cards and I just inked them and stamped them. And they're held on with washi tape. And those can be journaled on. And then the lines here, I have a line stencil and I just took a silver ink pad and made the lines. So it's easy to journal on. And this is a ginormous tag that I had fun making. This is a piece of paper out of a pad. That's a butterfly sticker. And then it's just a card. But the card was too big for the pocket. It kind of flopped around a lot. Like it didn't sit in there as securely as I wanted it to. So I decided to put a bit of lace edging there. Oh my. There we go. And that helps hold the card in a little more securely. See? And to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. I thought that was really pretty. And this tag goes in this pocket. This is another piece of that notebook paper, and I just folded it in half and made pockets out of it. It's a little tuck spot with a little piece of lined paper that came out of a paper pad. And this is not actually stitched on, that's glued on because that's paper, and it came out of a paper pad. And it says, no rain, no flowers. Which reminds us not to be bothered by the rain. We need rainy days to enjoy the things that grow from it. This is another tea bag that I made a pocket out of on a piece of paper that flips up. And this is a card, a journaling card tag that I got at I got it at Tuesday Morning. And this is a cutout from I fussy cut it out and stuck a sticker on it and just stuck a tag in it. And this little thing here, this is from a bag from Bob Evans' restaurant. I made a pocket. Another altered paper clip when I went a little nuts with my pad of paper and paper clips when I first started making them. And this is this is just a piece of paper over a piece of paper. That's the back of the last signature. And this is the back of the journal. And there's a little pen loop. So I hope the person who receives this is going to be happy with it. And thank you for letting me share with you. And thank you for watching my flip through. And I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate you doing that. And if you want to share this, please feel free. I do appreciate you very much being here, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.